shooting early on.
Athletic as Bacon, played in Charlotte against the 76ers last year.
Joel Embiid in rhythm for two. Embiid helping out that time on Rozier. Rozier will play a lot in the backcourt. Another guy of similar build, Devontae Graham, who's having a breakout season. Horford using some quickness that time on the rookie P.J. Washington. Above average three-point shooter in his second season at 38%. Embiid and a foul.
2-3 zone from the 76ers.
And they are D'ing it up. Neto, quite a play. Two to shoot. Wow, and quick thinking that time by Rozier to get it to the rookie out of Kentucky, P.J. Washington. Harris working it with Embiid. Nicely done by Tobias.
He's a member of that 2005 championship team under Roy Williams.
Oh, by the way, Furkan Korkmaz behind the back to Raul Neto for that one. We can consider them a rival as well because that's the G League affiliate of the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
Opener of the trip. That was Saturday a week ago in Portland without his play, as you mentioned. Alla coming off the bench as that's a play coming out of the timeout.
Good is he offensively, doing it both, finishing and starting.
Furkan Korkmaz, compliments of Al Horford for Horford.
Know about his scoring. It's this other end of the floor that he's got to have his trust.
Shoot quickly here, Mike. Get another possession after this. Richardson perhaps thinking that. It is Burke for three. Got it! Oh, Biyama not expecting that. Sixers now an opportunity here. Burke for Ennis, who's able to slam for two. James Ennis. In that category, making plays for others, is Embiid. Records the snuff. It triggers the Sixers into action. And Ennis is going to get a slam on consecutive possessions. We thank you so much. Alla, there's a guy who went from lottery pick to playing in the G League as recently as January 2018 as Bismack Biyombo gets this. Burke comes up with it, spots Ennis, it's for three. Embiid nearly tied up by Zeller. He could forget it. That is Malik Monk, 6'3", 200, again, third year from Kentucky. Zeller with position on Harris. Sixers try to foul him.
Thought it was just the old school Raiders, but if you watched that Charger game the other night, they were penalties galore in that game too.
Zeller picking up his own miss and slamming for two. Walker is a real favorite in Charlotte. The applause and adulation was immense as Horford gets the slam. Compliments of Tobias Harris. Monk, it's for three. Right now the Hornets in the midst of a 9-2 push. Signed a 2-year free agent deal as the backup to Kemba Walker last year. Decided to retire over the summer, but Graham has done beautifully. So is Joel Embiid tonight. The Sixers rarely, if ever, play zone.
No, and there's no need to it. And the problem with, there's a lot of problems with zone, but one of them is blocking out. Who do you block out?
Could be leading here at halftime. Zeller for three. Wow. Embiid against Zeller. Zeller, by the way, had 17 in the first half. That's Richardson hitting the three. Josh Richardson, the fifth for the Sixers. Rozier, you mentioned it earlier, Alla, the strange rhythm he has off the dribble. His third bucket, he's got 6.
Got pushed for Furkan, no call there.
Another Sixer turnover. Rozier forcing his way to the hoop against Richardson. Got it done. Sixers trying to shake free of the dregs. A tough 4-game Western trip. Tobias Harris with a tough 2 right there against P.J. Washington. Harris.
Sometimes it works for him. More often than not, it plays into the opponent's hands.
Horford got it done. And you mentioned earlier.
Ball or not, because you don't get it a lot of the times. That doesn't mean you stop cutting. But I know what you mean. It's hard.
Count it, and a foul That was hard. Some wizardry there by Al Horford, who will step to the line, looking for one more. Just past the halfway point of the third. Korkmaz, it's for three.
Defenses are playing 2 down in front of him, so going underneath. They don't respect that jumper yet. It didn't look like he belongs. 2-3 zone by the Hornets.
Horford missing the three. Ennis.
Wow.
And he'll do that. He'll crash the offensive glass. Quite the putback. Sixers 20 points in the quarter already on 10 buckets. Another three from Furkan Korkmaz.
Founded here in the city of Philadelphia, and to have all 5 professional sports teams come together to support these. And again, by the way,
Best way to attack it.
Well, if you're going to attack it, attack a bigger gap, and then when you do get to the defenders, make sure you're strong on that dribble.
Off the bench. It's 5 above his average. Nicely executed there. Furkan Korkmaz able to finish the job. Scott got it.
Cody Limit per team.
That's right.
Cody Zeller, too.
Bombs away. Josh Richardson connecting.
You don't need more room.
Embiid at 15 in intermission as the Sixers defense there suffocating. Wouldn't foul certain situations because they didn't want to pick up fouls.
Heck yeah. Absolutely. And those that have got wow.
But the whistle, the crew chief, Mark Davis, is silent. Here's Mike Scott just picking up some loose change. Embiid thinking three. Burke got it and a foul. It might have been with Embiid hitting the deck.
But he was healthy. They just don't use him as much as they used to. Remember how good he used to be?
Yeah. 11 minutes into the season. Broke a finger on his left hand.
That'll do it.
Yeah. Solid all-around NBA player from France, Nick Batum.
I remember my first year working with you guys. I couldn't believe what I didn't hear. Compact, efficient in his moves, and falling out of favor a little.
That's beautifully done. That's basketball, my friends. Burke, who gets the hockey assist, to Richardson, to Mike Scott. Furkan Korkmaz, much improved on the defensive end. And offensively, I don't think there was ever a doubt, though. Playing time is inconsistent for a lot of reasons his first 2 years.
I'm just telling you, it's human nature. I'm not even considering him one of those guys. It's just how it is.
Tobias Harris unleashing the three. That's Mike Scott saying, you know what, young fella, you're the guy who's been shooting it lately. Why not take it? But Scott, you're right. Good three-point shooter. Did have it. Boy, if you're Charlotte, you got to act now. Sixer lead at 15. Bridges, nice defense by Tobias Harris. That was well done by Harris on the defensive end.
You knew it would be a spirited conversation. 76ers playing accordingly.
Scott for a three, and he connects. That Mike Scott's parents and Josh Richardson's parents didn't take any junk.
No, and they were raised right. That's why when you interact with both of them, as Neto knocks another one down, to us at sea level.
Yes.
Let's not overlook that.
And how about the Sixers, who had a 21-point previous four did not play. You might recall right before the Sixers went on the road trip against Minnesota, got a brief run as Ennis uncorks and hits the three. James Ennis.
Another guy who hasn't played in quite a few games. Matisse Thybulle in there as well. On defense there.
DJ Washington. Joel Embiid, by the way, continues to stand along the baseline in support of some of the deep reserves as the Hornets here have made it somewhat interesting. Sixers will break a 3-game losing streak. Their first win since a year ago yesterday, or a year ago. Seems like a year ago. A week ago.